Hey, so for the people watching this, we already reviewed Wednesdays Do Now. This time we're speaking about air masses. Let's watch this video about air masses and take notes. These notes are fill in the blanks. So after you fill in the blanks. We're going to review the notes and complete questions silently and review it in 5 minutes. You technically, since you're doing this independently, you can just go at your own pace. You can watch the video as many times as you need. Press stop and rewind, and all is good. Okay, so let's watch this video together. Okay, great. This is something that you need to annotate. So, air masses that form over the ocean are called maritime. Okay, so continental air masses, you can pause this as many times as you need to record that. So continental, and it is dry. It is dry. This is also something that you need to record. An air mass is a large mass of air in which temperature and humidity are the same throughout. So temperature, hot and cold, humidity, whether it's moist or dry. So I won't ask you to list the continental Arctic or Antarctic, the CAA. Just know that it's there and it's in the polar regions north and south. So global winds, just the winds around the earth. So we all share the same wind pattern. And then jet streams are inside the ocean, so like oceanic currents. I don't know if you've seen Finding Nemo, but the way that the sea turtles move is through a jet stream. So whenever they go into that like jet stream tunnel under the ocean, they go super fast and they're able to go and reach their destination faster than they usually would if they were swimming. Okay, and that's all that you need to know. You can pause and rewind as many times as you need to, always, always. Make sure that you have this information written down. Okay, so an air mass is a large mass in which the temperature and humidity are the same throughout. You can figure out the rest. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 blanks. For the maritime, tropical, and so on, all the way to the continental polar, you can see the types of temperature and moisture that you would identify. So, for example, maritime tropical, it says it right here, moist and warm. So, you're going to put moist and warm. It's easy to see it, but it's not as easy to identify and then write it down. So, go ahead and do that. For the maritime air mass, it forms over on. Yes, or is it ocean or land? Continental, is it ocean or land? Okay, awesome. Once all of that's done, you are using these notes as well as your science reference sheet. Excellent job to the people who are using their science reference sheet to complete the information. Here in task 2, we are using the notes from task 1, like the one that we just did, and our reference sheet to complete these questions. This is whole class for me and other people, but for you, you're going to do it by yourself, and I'm going to come check in with you. I may tell some people to close their computer if I notice that this isn't being done effectively. And that's fine. You just need more practice. Please pause this video if you need to, and then play it when you're ready to move on to the next section. Great. So right now, you should have been done with task 1 and task 2. Moving, or just part of task 2. Now moving on to number 1 through 6 of task 2, we are going to write the statement or read the statement. That means to say read, then fill in the blank with true if the statement is true, or false if the statement is false. Let's do number 1 together. So an air mass forms when air stays over an area for a while or moves slowly or over an area. Is that true or false? We should say that that is true. So we are writing true. Okay, it is. So an air mass that forms when air stays over an area for a while or moves slowly over an area, that is true. That's an air mass. Okay. Now you do that for number 1 through 6. When you're done, press pause for the video, and when you're done, press play. Great. Now let's go through number 7 through 10 because these can get kind of tricky. Which type of air mass would you find in A? So this is A. This right here is A. Well, we see what I would identify as like, is it over ocean or land? It's over the ocean, okay? And is it dry or moist? Is it dry or moist? Obviously, it's going to be moist if it's over an ocean because dry is on land. So hold on, I see that moist is not even on here. Well, another word for moist is humidity, like how much moisture is in the air. That's how we measure it with a hygrometer, like that's humidity. So the one that would match this, I mean, it's over an ocean, so it's moist. So we definitely know that it has to be B or D. But is it warm or cold? A is actually where we're located. So if you were to divide the equator, remember the equator is like here. So areas around these regions, I'm going to type in equator, do that as well. Areas around these regions are generally warm. So like C and B would actually be warm. But areas more north of it or more south of it are colder. So this one would be, it would be cold because away from equator. Okay. So you can see it. All right, so that means that our answer is D. Cool. Annotate just like I'm doing here. Do the equator for all of these so you're able to identify it. The picture is going to stay the same. Once you're done with number 7 through 10, then you can play the video again. But right now you're going to pause, do number 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then click play. Great. So you should have already completed that. This is task 3. This is your exit ticket. This is how I'm going to identify whether you'll be in the independent group tomorrow or the dependent group tomorrow. Because dependent group just means that you need more practice, so you'll be in the practice group rather than the independent group. Read the questions, annotate, use your reference sheet. Remember, CP and MT. CP stands for continental polar. MT stands for maritime tropical. So think of that. And it's best if you actually write out, like, whether it's maritime, whether it's continental. Remember, maritime forms over the ocean. Continental forms over land. Okay, so if you can remember that, you'll be golden. You'll be great. I know that you're going to do excellent on this. I'm just erasing this because I'm going to use this for the other class, and I don't want the other classes to see it. But once you're done with everything, I want to check your exit ticket. So when people are doing their independent practice, I'm going to be writing down some names. Okay. All right. Other than that, you can press pause and play whenever you want, but you are good to go. And also raise your hand when you have questions.